Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on Negan's very first Lucille kill in The Walking Dead. At least for the comic book universe version, it has been shown recently. This week was released Image Plus issue 14. I'll put the link in the description to Image Comics website so you guys can check it out. I haven't given my thoughts on this too recently. It's been a couple months now because I didn't do a review for Image Plus 13. Each section of the Here's Negan flashback story is only a few pages, so sometimes I'll do videos on it, other times I won't. This one I thought was really cool, so I decided I would do it. And I think they've done a really good job considering they only have like a few pages here. Like this one's 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's four pages to tell a story or to give us something each time. So being is that it's just so short, I've been pretty impressed with the chapters they've released, this being the 14th chapter, and them really giving us some highlights of Negan's kind of earlier life after the zombie apocalypse, and even in some cases just before the zombie apocalypse as things were just getting started. Personally, I really cannot wait to see all these events play out in the TV series, to get to see JDM eventually interpret all of these things that we're seeing in Here's Negan, because it's just really wicked cool. There's even a fan trailer out there someone sent me, wanted me to give my thoughts on. I guess it was fan made for Walking Dead season 8, but it's really just like clips from a movie called Possession, where JDM is actually some kind of high school gym coach or college coach, teacher, this kind of thing, and he's like coaching basketball and stuff, and he's got a daughter and stuff, and it's pretty cool because the way they cut it looks like it could kind of fit as like a flashback for Negan. It's on YouTube. Maybe one of you guys can post it below if you guys have seen it. I think it was Cam who sent it to me. Maybe I'll find it and put it in the description if you guys want to see that fan trailer for it's fan made, so it's not official, but to give you some kind of indication of what it would look like to see JDM kind of playing Negan in like regular life before the zombie apocalypse and everything, and the events that happened to him to kind of become Negan, which we've seen in the Here's Negan flashback. So in these last couple, we see Negan now joining kind of with Dwight and Sherry, traveling around trying to find a safe place. And then they're kind of fighting over leadership. They're fighting over who's in charge. You have Sherry, she's kind of complaining about, like who the leader is, saying we don't really need a leader, this kind of thing. We can pretty much vote on any decision we want to make and decide from there. And then you've got kind of some others kind of looking to Negan for direction, and Dwight, of course, calling some shots too, it looks like, or we get that impression. And then we see them meet a new group, and the new group kind of comes in, guns, whole bunch of guns and stuff, look like actually maybe too strong for Negan and the others to handle, just based on their firearms that they have. And then into 14, we find out basically that Negan kind of finds out that the leader, so to speak, of this group that has joined with Negan's group now, which I guess we could call the Saviors, is kind of like the precursor to the Saviors. It's like the earliest version of the Saviors. He kind of uses women, or the women of his group are kind of used for sex because there's really no rules, so rape, that kind of thing. So we know how Negan feels about that. He's absolutely opposed to rape, and yes, sometimes people kind of argue this point, or they kind of get into the fact that Negan has multiple wives, this kind of deal. And yes, that is true, but he doesn't force them. He has them follow the rules. He doesn't force them to be his wives. He doesn't force them to be with him and that kind of thing. So it's a bit messed up, when you want to think about it. And you're right, there are some contradictions there, I suppose, and some things there that are a little weird about that Negan takes on these wives, but then he's really against anyone raping women. So, I get that, but it's not like I guess he's not really forcing himself onto these women. It's more mutually, agreed upon that they're married or whatever, even though he's married to multiple women at once. So anyway, so he finds out that this guy's been basically raping this girl, or that's kind of what their group does. They get into it. Negan tells him he's not cool with it, and he starts giving him what for, and then that he has a problem with it. They get into a scuffle, and Negan gets pushed into some barbed wire, reaches back, grabs a bat, and smashes the dude with the bat. While everybody kind of turns and watches, and all the people from his group are kind of watching, one guy with a butcher knife tries to come up on Negan, but Negan sees him and says, stay the F back or you're next, and points at him and finishes smashing the dude's head with the eye pop and everything. So it's like, it's pretty brutal. So you can buy it on their site digitally. Link will be in the description for Image 14. It's only like $2 or something. So it's not too bad, but it's really cool to see. And then basically it kind of starts off as him, Negan kind of, he's powered up, right? He's got his one main first kill, and then he gets up and he says, you scared? You scared of me? Scared of dying? Sorry, I don't quite know how this plays out. And I like this coat. He puts his, the Negan biker jacket back on. It's wicked. And then he says, you're effing scared, huh? You effing should be. And then he points the bat like that. But it doesn't have the barbed wire on it yet. We've seen kind of in other flashbacks of where he wraps it and that kind of thing. But this is the first kind of time we've seen, at least in terms of chronological order, Negan kind of kill somebody with the bat, with Lucille. And he kind of reaches back to grab for it. Like in this, here's Negan. We don't get the impression that he had kind of planned this out, and I love this. I just think this is fantastic. He didn't plan out to use the bat or to use Lucille or anything like that. It kind of organically just happened as he got into a fight, and he was against somebody where it seemed like he was probably at a huge disadvantage. He was outnumbered because the guy had a number of guys with him that had knives and things like that, and he was in big trouble here. He barbed wired his back and everything. He reaches for the bat out of desperation, uses it, and because he has used the bat before to kill zombies, he's really, really good with them, him being kind of like, a gym teacher type of guy. So probably, as many of your gym coaches or gym teachers, playing lots of sports, getting pretty good with the bat, play a bunch of baseball, that kind of thing. And so he goes to that. And, also baseball bats are found anywhere. You can get them in any garage, pretty much, any house. You could have multiples of them. You can get aluminum, wood, whatever. And, so even if you wear one out or break one or something happens, you can always just grab another one anywhere. So I really like how it kind of just evolves naturally here with the story. And here's Negan, that he just kind of happens to have the bat there, grabs it, uses it, and kills the guy the first time. And then after that, we are to assume, I suppose, that it kind of becomes like a thing. He realizes how scared people get of him and how he can use that to keep people in line. You've got this other group that's joining with their group that doesn't seem to be a good group. They seem to kind of be a group of scoundrels. They're involved in rape and do things like that to their women who are part of their group. But they do have firearms, they do have power. Negan is able to, use the bat, use the brutality and his ferocity to instill in them and kind of get them in line, so to speak. So get them in line and get them to listen, so far as we can tell. So that's it for this. And like I said, it ends with him pointing the bat at him. It says, at UF and should be. He's got the jacket, he's got the bat. Oh, so cool. And that's it for the Image Plus 14 until, I believe they're doing it 15. Yeah, they should be doing it 15. So until issue 15 hits the next Image Plus. So I'll keep my eyes peeled for it. I'll let you guys know my thoughts when they do release it. But write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think of Negan's very first Lucille kill. I thought it was really sweet, really cool to see, and really love how it just kind of was a natural progression that we get to see. And then when we meet him eventually in issue 100 in the comic book series, or in the TV series season 7 premiere with the double kill and everything, it just, for him is kind of like I suppose it's like a tactic that he discovered along the way to use that kind of brutality in order to keep people subservient. So, especially like new groups, right? Because it's kind of like he took this group in and then he Lucille the guy. So it's kind of like it lends to his kind of strategy that as they meet a new group, they have to break them in, and to do so, their strategy, which he's kind of discovered here in its effectiveness, we're probably going to see in episode 15 in the future, is that if you do that, you'll be able to kind of break them in, and then, and we can kind of tell from this, like you can see from this, why that becomes something they do, because it's so effective at getting the others to listen, because it's like, oh my God, look what happened to him. I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want any Popeyes coming out of my head or anything. So really scary, really brutal, and really awesome. So I loved these last couple of issues, getting caught up now. Really fun. Write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and send me your questions for any Q&As coming up, of course, this weekend. We've got Fear Weekend, so got some Fear videos coming for you guys, and of course reviews for the episodes tomorrow night. We got a double premiere hitting this Sunday for Fear. Write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about Negan's very first Lucille kill. Very, very cool. You can thumb up the video below if you guys liked it. You can also share, favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. Appreciate all the support, guys, and I'll see you again really soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon. You better subscribe.